or it's just the kind of place I don't like to be when I'm making videos for YouTube. I do not like this. A place where I'm not sure about something, but I have to take that risk in today's video. I just have to bring you this shoe. Things I am sure about are this right here, because that's a 1. Here's a 90, and you follow that up with a 95. You already probably know that Denham brought us out a 3-pack of Air Maxes last year, and then they've been projected to bring out this Blazer. Now, we know about those Air Max packs from last year, but we don't know, is this Blazer, has it dropped yet? When will it drop? That kind of stuff. Now, I'm here in Tokyo, Japan, and sometimes it's hard to keep a pulse on the situation or see what's going on. These guys have been projected to drop for something like 2 months, and you know what tipped it in my balance? You know what made me decide, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this video about this upcoming release, because I don't think they've dropped yet. It was StockX, and I went over and had a look at StockX, and only 5 of these shoes have ever been sold on StockX, which to me is the kind of numbers you see pre-retail. It's not the kind of numbers you see after they've hit the store. So for me, they haven't dropped yet, and I haven't missed a beat out here in Tokyo, Japan. And this is a shoe that's coming down the line, and tons of people out there will be interested in them. But if I've totally messed that up, if I'm completely wrong, and these guys dropped ages ago, and everybody else is like, yeah, we know this already. Sorry, these things happen when you're this far away. But that's what we're getting into today. We're going to have a look at that shoe, and there's a couple of things on it that are really interesting, because for me, the biggest, boldest feature on the shoe isn't the biggest and boldest feature on this shoe. There are actually 2 features on this shoe that I think are much better and take these guys next level. We'll get into that today. Do you know what they are? And then there's also the final sort of detail on this shoe is the luxe materials, and just how luxe are those mudguards. So we'll have a look at that today as we take a look at this upcoming release of the Nike Blazer Mid 77 Denim. This is the Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel desu. Mainichi upsuru no de, mainichi mite kudasai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today what we're looking at is the potential, possible, maybe, might be, perhaps upcoming release of the Nike Blazer Mid 77 Denham, and I keep stressing that Denham because Denham or Denim are a denim company. That's their major feature, and that's what they do. They bring out jeans and denim jackets and stuff like that, but the pronunciation, the name itself is Denham, which is not denim, and it has nothing to do with the material. So that's why I keep overstressing the spelling of the name of the company, Denham, and that collaboration here being the 4th that I know about. Maybe there have been some before, but those Air Max 1s, 90s and 95s from the end of last year, which were absolutely fire and very, very hot. And here we come with the Blazer, which is also fire and very, very hot. These guys, just that one feature is the swooshes, and we'll get into that and have a look at that today. But those guys, those Air Maxes from last year, had an awful lot of features, an awful lot of details on them. A bit more going on those shoes than you see in these shoes today. So first things first, you know what I think I'll do is I'm going to start with the second thing I mentioned, which is the luxe. So let's have a look at the toe box on these guys right here, and I'll give you a sense of what's going on with that suede down there on the mudguards and then wrapping around the front of the toe. And what we're particularly interested in is the quality of that suede and that feel of roughed up suedeness on there, which gives you an element, it gives you an idea about the luxe that goes into these shoes and the luxe materials that they've used to produce them. So I asked that question at the top of this video, just how luxe are those mudguards? Very luxe as far as I'm concerned. And then you come back from that and not too far. We won't get to the swooshes just yet, or what I think is a more important feature than the swooshes. But what we will get to is the top upper materials and the leathers that make up the white base of this shoe. And they are soft. There's something going on with these leathers that take them to a different place. The leathers and the materials often on Blazers are often quite hard and quite strong, sort of hard leathers. You can hear Mrs. Butter in the background banging away there. But on these guys, they've gone with the softer leather, and you can see that in some of the pictures. Hopefully they're showing up on the green screen here, and you get a sense of the materials alongside those luxe suedes. You get a sense of those luxe materials that make up the upper half of this shoe, and they are very fine and very clean materials, very soft, very supple materials, very high quality, and that's very important for this particular shoe. But then we get into the 2 details that I really want to get into with you guys. Well, the first one is the one I think most people out there are going to be looking at and thinking that's the hit on the shoe, and I'm here to tell you it's not. I'll tell you what the actual hit on the shoe should be. But what we're talking about is the swooshes on the side, and they have 2 main features to them. Main feature number one is that they're debossed, and what that means is the surface area of the leather on the lateral side has a cut out in it, and lower than that into the shoe you've got the swooshes lower down, deeper into the shoe than usual. Usually what they do with swooshes is there's another piece of material that's cut out and stitched onto the top of the shoe, but in the case of these guys, they're debossed into the shoe, and that's an important feature number one. Important feature number two is that they're made of materials and they're supposed to represent denim, and on top of that, it's 4 different patterns on the 4 different sides of the shoe. So left foot, lateral side, left foot, medial side, right foot, lateral, medial side, right foot, lateral side. All 4 of those different sides of the shoes have different patterns going on in those debossed swooshes on the side of these guys. And that is, of course, the main feature of the denim collaboration with Nike. All across all the different Nikes they do, playing with those denim materials and putting them in the shoe somewhere. But for me, the more important, the higher lux, the nicer, more interesting feature on these shoes comes in 2 particular places, and I'll show you both of them right now. The first is the heel and the high heel branding panel up at the top of the heel on these guys, where you see it's in a sort of creamy, almost tan feel, which is meant to represent the branding badge on the back of a pair of jeans, like if you imagine like Levi's, for example, with that tan panel and red imprint on there. But then instead of going with something colourful or something stitched or anything like that, they've debossed again, pushing it into the material, the branding on the back of these guys, and I think that's just absolutely fire and absolutely luxe. And they've done exactly the same thing on the toes, exactly the same kind of branding, same color scheme, same design, same structure to that debossed branding on the top of the tongues. And I think that is a more important feature than the swooshes themselves, to be honest. I think there's something unique about that. The fact that they haven't gone with embroidered branding and they've gone with debossed branding instead is very important for the shoe, and it works really, really nicely. And then the final question, which I haven't asked yet, but I should have asked, is what's going on with the insole? Because I remember with the Air Max 90 pack that the insoles on one of them, I think it was the Air Max 1s, had a really fine insole, but the 90s and the 95s lesser so. So I was wondering when these guys came around what they'd go with on the insole of the guys. So we'll have a look right here, and you can see that they've gone with that higher quality, high lux red insole that's inlaid with gold outlined tailor scissors to represent the branding and represent the collaboration between Nike and the denim company, Denham, and so that tailor feel, the high lux, high quality tailor feel is represented on the insole of these guys, and it finishes off a really, really sweet shoe. I'm kind of okay with the outsole. We'll have a quick look at that here, which will tell you it's all white, that they didn't go with anything special to push the branding or push the design of the shoe. They went with the simple all whites on there, and they could have done other things, but I think this is the right choice for this particular shoe. Sometimes I'm disappointed when the outsole of a shoe is very simple, but in the case of these guys, I think it represents the rest of the shoe, so we're okay with that the way it is. So finally coming back out, having a look at the whole the pair of shoes. Hopefully I'm right, like in what I said, I've got it right about when the drop date comes on these guys. I don't know when it's projected to be, but my channel's all about upcoming sneaker releases, projected releases that are coming down the line, and giving you guys an early look at something, and hopefully I'm right in saying these haven't dropped yet, and you guys are able to watch a video like this and get insight into what's coming down the line. Or if they have, you've enjoyed a close-up look at this shoe because it's a great looking shoe anyway, and all to the soundtrack of Mrs. Butter getting ready for bed. So so it's an extra video today, a double layered video. So you could play it as a drinking game. Every time you hear a noise in the background, you can have a quick shot of orange juice or something along those lines. But for now, it's time for me just to sign off, getting the videos, churning them out, trying to keep ahead of the game at the moment and doing it bit by bit. And today's video is done, so I'm going to take it away. I've got more videos coming down the line. The Air Jordan 3's in there somewhere. I think there's an Air Jordan 4 as well I want to have a look at. There's an interesting Air Force 1 that's way out of left field that I want to have a look at too. So lots to look forward to in the channel, but for now, time to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content. And I'll say what I say at the end of every single video, which is I do this every single day, which means you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.